Hey everyone, I'm David from Sunday Sounds, and today I want to introduce you to Worship Beats Volume 2. This is a really unique patch bundle for MainStage 3 that focuses on drum loops and beats that you can edit and tweak on the fly or dial in advance to be the perfect beat accompaniment for the song that you're playing. This is not a collection of pre-recorded audio loops like you've seen other places online. These loops are actually created and generated in real time using MainStage 3's instrument and audio effects plugins. You don't need any third-party sample libraries or sequencers to make this work. All you need is MainStage 3. And it's so cool to be able to dial these beats in, adjusting the level of samples, the audio effects applied, obviously things like the tempo and which samples are in or out at a given moment. Like all the other patch bundles on our website, Worship Beats Volume 2 has been pre-mapped to our Sunday Keys MainStage template. So if you have Sunday Keys, you can just drag and drop these patches right into your patch list, and they'll be ready to go. And I really recommend that you open these patches within Sunday Keys, because when you do, you get on-the-fly control of all the important parameters, which samples are in or out, and the audio effects applied to them. You can also open these patches in any other MainStage 3 concert, and then you'd have to create mappings of your own to control them on the fly. We've also included channel strip files for each patch if you'd like to use these in a Logic Pro recording project. What I'd like to do now is demonstrate all 15 of the patches that are a part of Worship Beats Volume 2. So I'm going to turn around and we'll take a look at them. Alright everyone, I have Sunday Keys open today for the sake of this video. And one thing I want to note about making use of Worship Beats Volume 2 is that you want to make sure you have the correct sample library content downloaded on your computer. Because if you don't have the sound library content you need, then these beats won't sound the way that they are going to in this video. So to just make sure that you have the right sound library content downloaded, it's included with MainStage, it's just not always automatically downloaded for MainStage users. You're going to go to MainStage 3, and then you're going to choose Sound Library. And if you have a lot of space on your hard drive, the quickest way is just to hit download all available sounds. But if you want to be thrifty, then you can click Open Sound Library Manager. Whoops. Should turn my Wi-Fi on. Sorry about that. You just want to hit Open Sound Library Manager, and it'll open up like this. And the two sections of content you need to have downloaded on your computer and installed in order to use Worship Beats Volume 2 completely are the drum kit content and the electronic drum kit content. This comes in at just under 15 gigabytes of content between the two. And so if you don't have those installed, just go ahead and select them and hit install. And then that'll take a little bit of time, but once you've done it, then you'll be ready to go. I'm going to go over here to Finder, go to my downloads. Your download's going to come in a zip file that looks like this. You're just going to double click on it to extract. And inside you have a collection of channel strips, a collection of patches, a README, and then this .patch file named Worship Beats Volume 2. This is a set file. So when you drag it into an open MainStage concert, it'll come in as a set, and all of the patches that are in this folder are actually within this set. So this is the quickest way to open all of these patches up and get them ready to go. That's going to take a second to load. They popped in there. If you want these patches and channel strip to be available in Logic Pro or within the MainStage browser, then copy these patches into the Patches section of Audio Music Apps, and the channel strips into the channel strip settings /instrument folder within Audio Music Apps. And then they'll be available in the channel strip preset browser and in the patch browser. Alright, so this is Worship Beats Volume 2. You have 15 patches, and these are all tied to MainStage's built-in clock. So whenever MainStage's clock is running, that's this represented by this green button right here, then the beats will be triggered and they'll run as well. So you could hit the play button, and you could stop it. Or if you want, you can just use spacebar. And that's a simple way to do it. That's usually how I run it. If you can also map a button in your workspace, I'll just do this really quick. At the concert level, you can map it to actions and play stop. Then when that button is pressed, it will play or stop. So that's up to you and however you want to do it. I'm going to delete that for now because we don't need it. So This is Worship Beats. You can use tap tempo in Sunday keys or whatever your template is if you want to adjust the tempo on the fly. Or you can set the tempo of any patch by going to Attributes with the patch selected in Edit mode, clicking the Change Tempo to box, and typing in the tempo. Then whenever you go to that patch, the tempo will automatically jump to that tempo. Alright, so now I'm just going to demonstrate some of the patches really quickly, and I'm going to be using my Korg Nano Control 2 to switch through some of the different parameter mappings and samples on and off that are included in the patches. Like I said in the intro, when you use these patches in Sunday keys, you get tons of control to be able to dial these beats in so that they are just where you need them in the mix. Alright everyone, for the last little bit of this tutorial I just wanted to demonstrate how easy it was to combine the patches in Worship Beats Volume 2 with your existing Sunday Keys patches if you're a Sunday Keys user. So the same modular workflow that's what makes Sunday Keys everything it is, it applies here. All of these Beats patches are in Section 4 of the template by default, and so to combine any of these patches with any of your other sounds, just grab the patch you want. And then select the other sound that you want to combine it with. So I'll grab this Worship EP from Section 1. And you click on both while holding Command on your keyboard, and then choose New Patch from Selected Patches. Then MainStage and Sunday Keys put together a layered patch for you. So this is Seagull drums, which is a little joke, if you get it. There you go. So it's really easy to use these for your live set. If you want to be able to have sort of multiple feels throughout a song, then you can either tweak them on the fly. So if you wanted this to be a little less aggressive for the verse, and then you could adjust in the moment if you wanted to make it more aggressive. And then if you would rather be able to sort of just cycle through presets, then the option is to save a duplicate of the patch and then just cycle through the patch with those different settings. You can change patches as many times as you like in a given set. So it's really easy for you to set that up either way. It just depends on which you think is going to give you the type of performance you want to have. One note about these patches is that they are a little bit RAM heavy. They're not CPU heavy, but they do take up some memory because of the samples that are loaded into MainStage. And so I would recommend not having these all open all the time unless you need them to all be available to you. I always recommend, even with just the stock Sunday Keys patches, that you keep your concert as lean as possible. So whenever you go to put together a set list, just create a copy of your concert by doing a save as, name it the date or whatever's going to help you remember what it is. And then once you've got your set list put together, just delete out everything that you don't need, which just helps keep your computer running efficiently, using as little memory as possible and as little CPU as possible. And of course, you can always troubleshoot and increase your audio buffer size and do those sorts of things to make it run as efficiently as possible too. You can also use the patches in Worship Beats to combine with our song-specific patches. I've done that here for a couple. I've got our patch for Overcome, and then our patch for Wonder. So when you combine multiple patches, tempo information by default goes back to the concert level. So when you do that, just go back to the Patch Attributes tab and type in your tempo so that everything is where you want it to be. I'll demonstrate how a couple of these sound real quick and how I might use them in the moment to sort of bring the drums in and out and add some intensity. next I have our patch for Overcome, and this middle ground beat was actually sort of inspired by the feel of this song. Alright folks, that's a look at Worship Beats Volume 2. I hope that you're excited about this release and that you'll make it a part of your MainStage 3 patch library. If you have any questions about how this works or what you need to use it, feel free to use the contact form on our website to send us an email. Thanks for your time and attention, and have a great day.